Hey guys, Robbie K here coming at you with a review of yet another movie. Did not expect to be as many that came out this week, so I'm gonna try to get to you, but as you can tell, I'm feeling a little under the weather. Still gonna do my best to bring you the movie reviews and hopefully help you as much as I have fun recording them. Tonight, we're going over the latest book-turned movie political statement known as Thug, or The Hate U Give, for the long term. If you haven't seen the trailer, stick around because I'm going to do my best to give you the scoop on the latest film. But to do this, we need to always welcome the new people who come to my channel, so very, very happy to have you. Here's how it works. We go over a little bit of what the trailer kind of represents, talk about a quick, dirty review to give you kind of the scoop so you can get in and out. Or if you liked a little more details, pull aside for part 2, and that's where you'll get the likes and dislikes. So let's go ahead and get started while I wait for traffic to clear up as we do another Robbie's Movie Reviews. So here we go. First thing is that if you haven't seen the trailer, Thug, as it's called, or again, The Hate U Give, is all about a girl named Star who is unfortunately the witness of a friend being killed in what seems to be an incident, if I can speak, where a cop unfortunately takes one of her best friend's lives. The result is though, even though it wasn't unarmed, there was another great debate as to whether or not this was right, wrong, and who should be punished. And as a result, the incidents that comes in is trying to watch as Star deals with the stress of knowing what happened, doing the right thing, but at the same time making sure to represent in the way that her parents taught her. And of course, the drama that comes at hand with it. Get ready because it's a very emotional, very politically heavy movie. And I'm going to do my best not to offend anyone. Let's get started though with the quick and dirty review, or the Phase 1 review. In terms of this, it's actually a much more tasteful movie than I was very concerned with. The book is a very good job of representing it, and when you get to the kind of cinematic role, sometimes the emotion and Hollywood magic to elicit entertainment and responses from the audience overshadows the messages that the book do. Not the case in this film at all. A great balance of making sure to portray the morals with great dialogue and pretty, diffuse, really good scenes that help try to diffuse the tension. It's a wonderful representation of how you can get a message across, still kind of put some political hard moments in, but make sure to wrap up with solid messages that can kind of ground the emotional tension. It's a fantastically acted film filled with a really good cast that for once integrates so many good people into it that I was very pleased with the work. I can say that there's probably some editing that could have done. 2 hours and 13 minutes, even though it didn't feel like it. Probably still a little on the long side for it, where a director's cut could have been welcome. But you're feeling like you're getting a really good book into this, a book-turned movie in this installment. So, kudos to them for doing it. In regards, there are a couple of other storytelling elements. You'll have to go to kind of Phase 2 to see that. But above all, this movie was a lot better than I was anticipating, and I surely enjoyed it. I can say that it's probably worth a trip to the theater if you're looking for a solid drama, though I wholly hope you do not get the audience that I did, because I had a bunch of people who were unable to sit in their seats and unfortunately talk through half the stuff, so it was very distracting. So I really hope your audience is kind of better than some of the fellow members who were with me. Anyways, that's kind of where the Phase 1 ends. We'll say that the scores are for its category. I guess I would say drama with thriller, if they're going to put it that way, meets probably a political statement movie. I'm going to have to give it probably an 8.5 and 8 overall. Movie overall, 7.5 definitely. And so that's kind of where the Phase 1 is. If you're done, please like, subscribe. Please share with your friends. I want to make this channel as best as possible, and your comments are always welcome to help me with it. In regards to kind of so if you're done, thank you for again showing up. But if not, hang around because here comes Phase 2. In terms of the likes, you've gotten it with most of the quick and dirty trailer. The likes of this movie start with the acting is very good. If you saw The Darkest Minds, kind of the lead actress there, I gotta say I like this role a lot better. Fantastic display of emotion, managing to curtail it most of the time, but still kind of have that angst of a teen without going too much into kind of the stereotypical college teenage role that after school specials and Disney Channel like to do. Um, so a fantastic balance, a good portrayal. And, my second thing I love is when you get this integration of all the characters that they make out to introduce. While maybe not the most heavy-handed in certain areas, with Star certainly taking the role, I must say that they did a fantastic job trying to kind of grab everybody into the mix that was introduced at the beginning of the film and keep them involved in some way or form. So, bravo into terms of that. In regards to kind of the setting and scenery itself, a great use of just kind of cinematography, set design, and just kind of getting the feel of both sides of Star's world. A elegant blend of kind of cinema work that was really bringing a lot of components to the scene. And I gotta say that for a movie that's very emotional, that's very difficult to do. So well done in obtaining that balance and adding that slight emotional edge to really craft a film that I think is going to deliver to the intended audience of drama lovers and those who love getting caught up in the emotion of the moment. Now, if that's still not kind of up your alley in terms of likes of what you're seeing, again, I gotta say that there was a very powerful emotional feel to it. So outside of just the setting itself, beautiful work in capturing the emotion that I think the book held. Handling an issue that's very, very talked about and controversial these days, and doing a nice job of, I think, representing a lot of sides to it. And that kind of brings me to the fact of good storytelling, too. Again, this is a book, and with a book, as you know, if you like to read, there's a lot more details in the words than there are in what a movie can capture in at least most cinematography pieces. But in this case, I think they did a fantastic job giving a lot of the details needed with the dialogue to match. Bravo in terms of writing and adapting the book's lines into a fantastic set of dialogue that, a bit preachy at times, really kind of rocks in terms of getting the point across. The messages are there, the storytelling aspect is there to give you, again, those details you need without going overboard and leaving the book to kind of fill in the rest. I think they also balanced a nice job of getting Star's internal dialogue and monologue going too. Whether it be non-verbal cues or maybe it is the internal monologue that she's doing, you get a fantastic kind of overall display. Again, not easy to achieve in a book where the character has a lot of kind of thoughts to balance out. Finally, I gotta say, is that I love how well they diffuse the tension. This movie is jam-packed with tension, as well as a lot of issues that did have some of my fellow audience members effectively getting out of their seats and, of course, shouting at the screen. And that's understandable. That's kind of what a good movie can do sometimes. But rather than inciting a riot like I think some films have been able to do in the past, I think this one, though, managed to get the points across, but make sure to keep the tension going. The question is there are some other scenes, which we'll get to in a minute. It just depends if you can handle the messages in the manner that they were trying to do. For this poetic display, really is something that I think the world could use in terms of handling a lot of its political issues. So, well done there. All right, now to the dislikes. As I mentioned, it's 2 hours and 13 minutes, and maybe this is just because I'm sick and I've had a long day, but even though the movie didn't feel like that, another like is that the pace was pretty good. You can definitely tell that there were parts that probably could have been left out in the director's cut if they weren't going to develop them a little more. So I would have said a little more editing in terms of that, which I guess kind of brings me to another dislike. If you wanted it to make it this long, I probably would have liked a little more integration of characters. Anthony Mackie's King manages to do his part and hit the right moments, but there could have been so much more. Her parents also having some skeletons in their closet, but again kind of semi-reduced to the backdrop and kind of brushed over. Again, I know that's not the main theme of the message, but when you look in the book and see all these subplots that go with it, if the movie's going to kind of tease at them, maybe try to pick one or two to go with it, to develop, to give a little more variety to the characters. So I would definitely say that would have been probably a better component to it. As I mentioned, some of the preachy dialogue was there. I guess you're not going to escape it in a movie like this. That's meant to kind of get political awareness and teach the messages. So I can't say that that's a big dislike, but there are those one or two moments where it kind of went a little outside of the, I guess you would say, path it was going. Kind of went a little far-fetched to make an idea really stand out, when using the tactic of kind of subtle and more balanced means would have probably been the better way, at least for me. I guess in regards to anything else, the final thing is that there are those kind of heavy-handed scenes that I can't necessarily say I was a dislike. I think they were needed, and maybe not as many, but the ones that they showed really kind of express a lot of the anger and emotion that comes in this kind of political topic. Now, that's fine, but what I'm trying to warn you is I think the thing that this movie's got to be careful about is making sure that the audience members are mature enough to handle this, because it does it in a mature manner, but because of the power of those scenes. And I told you, like earlier in my likes, I love the cinematography and how they brought that world to life. That is amazing, but is it ready for our modern day audiences who can potentially get riled up? That's a question only the audience members can do. So I'm trying to tell you guys, if you have friends who get riled up and will maybe miss the message because of the emotional impact, be warned that this may incite them to get up and do some stuff like a couple of my members of the audience did. So just a fair warning in terms of that. Regardless, let's kind of wrap it up. The Hate U Give, Thug, is a powerful movie. It's got great messages. It's a great educational opportunity that will hopefully kind of breach political core members' awareness, and kind of also inspire and teach to go back to the way things used to be in a more peaceful time. Fantastic acting, great world building, and hopefully an inspiration to maybe pick up the book to get the details. It's definitely worth a shot. At the moment, though, kind of hold back in terms of going to the theater if you're tired or you don't want a drama thriller, because there's not much past this, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a warning. Still, outside of some editing tweaks that I think they need, solid addition to the film. And if you stuck with me this long, again, thank you. The review score is, again, probably an 8.5 in its category, while 7.5 in movie overall. By far the better of the two I've seen. They're probably not going to be the box office winner. So thank you very much for watching. Totally love that I'm getting some feedback, but looking for more. I want to help you guys. I want to help as many people with these as I can, and try to essentially go off of what I can do to make it better. Again, there are guys who are probably a little more theatrical and well put together than I am, and have a lot more editing into their tools. I try to do this raw because I kind of feel that I can get a little more detailed with it. Nevertheless, please help me make this better. Share, like, please share, let people know that I want to help as many people. Anyways, guys, if I manage to make it, I hopefully will get a double in tomorrow. But depending on how the cold does, you'll definitely get me next week, kind of revamped, assuming that I've recovered. Have a wonderful night. Thank you again. And Robbie K out. Until the next time. Bye.